show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you're looking for inclusion, then talk to me. Talk to the family tree. We can all ride when it's time to slide on our enemies. And we can all ride when it's time to override these policies. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. You wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies against us. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust. If you wanna ride with us, you gotta show me love. No more riding with lies. You gotta show me trust.
FBA. We did it.
And people always ask this question: how come these people, these foreigners from Africa and the Caribbean, were so adamant that they're not black? That in their countries, that's a foreign concept to them. The reason why it's a foreign concept to them, and this really just clicked in my head sometime over the weekend. The reason why it's a foreign concept is because Walter Plecker was not in Africa. He wasn't in the Caribbean. He wasn't reclassifying those people. Walter Plecker was reclassifying a specific ethnic group here in the United States, which so happens to be the American Indian. So those reclassification terms, whether it's colored, mulatto, Negro, black, even my most hated and detested African American, all of those reclassification terms only refer to one ethnic group. So even people
Yeah, I'm
who
not
come...
bro. You're African, bro.
Yeah, I'm African, bro. I'm not denying the fact.
You're not black, bro. You're African.
Being African is being black. Are you dumb?
Nah, bro. On God, there's a difference. Okay, so you're black, yeah? If someone's black, like, they carry the culture, the heritage, you know, all that stuff of a black person, you know? But an African guy, he has different culture, he has different everything. Then if you look at when you talk black, I'm thinking like African American, like the black guys you see in the US.
This is interesting. This is literally interesting. Like, we've always spoke about the cosplay of it all, you know, and now we get to see Caucasian people actually sit down and have the same type of conversations. Like, bro, you're not a black American. Like, you can sit there and try to act and talk like this and dress like this, but you have a completely different culture, different background, and this is very important. And I'm going to tell you why. But I'm gonna get my opinion at the end. Hold on, let's get straight into this.
But then when you say African, I'm thinking of all the Niger boys, you know, all those guys, you know, Ghana and all that stuff. It's very different people.
Ever since my mom gave birth to me, I've never seen anybody as stupid as you. Like, you are beyond stupid. I'm lost of words to describe how stupid you are, bro. You make me lose a brain cell. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I might gotta go to bed after this. Like, I'm done streaming.
Whoa. How is that stupid? I think he was like, that was correct. Like, that was 100% correct. You know, there's a different culture between melanated people, but you're sitting down and putting black into a monolith. And when he tells you from a logical perspective, like, bro, like, you're not black American. You're not black. Like, you're African. You have a completely different tribe. You have a completely different culture. In Africa, they don't call each other black. They call them, they represent by their tribes. So when he's telling you this, you call him stupid and derogatory names. It says the most dumbest person you ever speak. How? Like, you're confused. Like, I think that he might be confused at this moment in time. He literally broke it down in a very simple way for you to understand. And instead of you comprehending what he said, you called him stupid. That's appropriate, but okay, let's go.
Yes, you are technically a black woman, but what you are doing is really insidious because you are not a black.
No, technically he's not black anything. Technically he's a foreigner from a country that's not called America.
American, and that is different, and you should know that, and you probably do know that. In another comment, you said, how do you know I'm not American? When all of your content has you in Papua New Guinea. Just yesterday, you posted a photo of you standing outside a place that is only in Papua New Guinea. I think it's really insidious what you're doing because I think you think that I don't know better.
Ooh, hold on. That was a bar right there. I'm going to explain why. You're probably thinking, why is this important? I'm going to tell you why this is important. So he said, I'm going to be interested. Lock in.
That you think that my understanding of racial politics in America means that I'm just going to take your word on it as a woman who is not a black American over black Americans because you are black. And I'm sorry to tell you, you picked the wrong one. Sydney Sweeney is an American actress currently working in America. The subject of discussion is her ad for American Eagle, and we are discussing white supremacist dog whistles because of the history that they have in America. Not only do I generally think that non-Americans need to kind of sit out some discussions that have nothing to fucking do with them, but the reason I think that is not because it has nothing to do with them. I mean, unfortunately, America is in such a position internationally that it kind of has something to do with everybody. But my thing is, you are unlikely to have built in the lived experience of picking up on these things if you did not grow up here. I'm not...
Yeah, he was definitely cooking. Okay. He was definitely cooking. So why do immigrants, foreigners believe they're black? So when they tell me they're black, my next question is, in what sense are you black? And that question seems to freeze them like a deer at nighttime being shined with the headlights. Okay, let's go here.
So let me make this point. Black is also a trick bag because even if you looked up the definition, you would have to include people from Oceania in that definition. And so the term black in unto itself, is a descriptor, is a descriptor, right?
Okay, so this is the mistake. You see that right there? And that's exactly how foreigners think. That's how African descent immigrants think and believe. They use black as a descriptor. We black Americans in America do not use black as a descriptor. Black as a descriptor is an adjective. It's not capitalized. It doesn't demand a capital letter when spelling. The way we use black in America, we use black as an experience, as an ethnonym to describe our unique ethnogenesis. Our black is a proper noun with a spelled with a capital B. So this guy is grossly incorrect.
Right, and definitely was a racialized term, black people. That's a racialized term, meaning before the 1700s, there was no white people. And without white people, there was no black people. And so that was part of the colonial trick to racialize us and put us.
Okay, so I later on corrected this guy. I let him go in without any interruptions, as you see. He's flowing. I'm not interrupting. But when it's my turn to speak, I explained to the guy, I said, okay, listen, white people call themselves white. Okay. And they called us colored or Negro. All right. They call us colored. Look at the definition of color. What does that mean? They call us colored because they had no other name for us. And they did not want us to be associated with white. They didn't want us grouped up with white, so they just called us colored.
It's at the bottom of the hierarchy, bro. So white was at the top, the white angel food cake, and the black devil food cake. Remember all?
But even then, even if what he's saying is correct, this is somebody else calling us something. He just said that. He said white people call themselves white and they called us something. All right. That's the problem. That is an exonym. An exonym is a name that an outsider gives you and is normally derogatory. Okay. So even if that was true, that's not what we call ourselves. We redefine ourselves black with our own definition, and that is known as an endonym. Okay. So even what he's saying right now, it wouldn't fit.
That? Remember how white is purity and God and black is dirty, filthy, and evil, right? And demonic. And so they racialize it. So I ain't tripping. We black powered. I'm black African power. We did that in the 60s, right? Because we was trying to gain our identity. That's fine, right?
Okay. So he's like skipping past stuff. That was the self-determination era. That was the Black Power era. That was post Black Wall Street. That was post Black Reconstruction. That had everything to do with Black civil rights movement, right? That had everything to do with Black beauty, like Dr. King expressed, he's black and beautiful. And that was a sense of black and proudness as well. All right. So we were talking about we're black and proud. So this was a whole shift, right? This was a whole movement where we were establishing our blackness, our unique blackness. And we were called black people. Malcolm X and his crew were called the Black Muslims. Huey P. Newton, Black Panthers. Okay, so you had all this blackety black stuff going on. And he just trying to brush through it and simplify it.
But black doesn't denote where you come from. Where the hell do black people reside?
Black is not supposed to denote that. Black initially is an adjective. See, but people, when you say you're a Yoruba, right? That's a made up term too. That's a made up term. That don't denote where you come from. Those people have a right to identify themselves as something, and then they say they're from a land. Black, we gave black our own definition. You can do that, right? That's called an ethnonym. You have the right to label yourself and then define the term. So this guy is just brushing over history, don't understand what he's talking about.
Hell, the majority of the planet are people of color. They live in the temperate zones, right? So in reality, the reason African American was used because it denotes where your ancestry came from, right? And since we do not have the technology yet to say what tribe we came from, that's lost. We just wanted to identify with the continent in general so that people would know. If you just say you black people, then everybody could be black people. They had the racist one drop rule. Right?
Okay, you hear that? He said, if you're just saying you're black people, then everybody can say they're black people. No, they can't. Everybody has already called themselves something. All right. Everybody chose their own ethnonym. For example, in 1804, Dessalines told his people that from here on out, they're Haitians. So they already got a name. Okay. They got a flag under Haiti. Their land is called Haiti, and they are known as Haitians. They're not black, they're Haitians. You have Nigeria, right? Citizens of Nigeria, and they have their tribes, their tribal names over there, and none of those tribe names are black. All right. They have Yoruba, Igbo, and things like that. And then you have Asante for other tribes, Kenyans, Zimbabweans. Everybody already chose a name for themselves, and their name isn't BLACK. So in the 1960s, 1780s, 90s, we have been the only people to call ourselves black as a standalone ethnonym. What does that mean? Standalone ethnonym. That means there's nothing else. There's no black Nigerian. That's not standalone. Black is connected to Nigerian. It's describing the Nigerians. Black Jamaicans, black this, black that. It's not a standalone. Okay, we were called black people in this country, and there was no confusion when you said, "Hey, a black man did that, or did this, or didn't do that." There was no confusion when you said a black man. People knew who you were talking about in this country. Okay, so that's called a standalone, or sometimes we'll just say the blacks. What about black on black crime? Ain't that standalone? It didn't say black people versus black people crime. It didn't say black African crime. Black on black crime. Standalone. That's called a standalone ethnonym. So this guy is grossly mistaken.
Right? Pseudoscientific rule. You know what I'm saying? So I don't actually have a whole lot of problem with the FBA. I told you what the problem was. He probably was off mute.
Okay, so he was grossly incorrect. All right, so let's go on. Some more mistakes. Wait. So before I touch on that, let me go to this crazy psychotic man. Okay, so he wanted to ask me a question, right? He was trying to get me with a gotcha. Okay, but he's going to ask me a question without understanding my take on it, right? So he's using black interchangeably with African descent, and he's unaware that that's not my stance. Like, I say black people in America who are the only black. So here we go. Okay, so now, are you done? Okay, so now I was trying to save you all of that by the way, he asked me questions, and then as I'm giving the answer, he cuts in and mutes me over and over and over because it's not the answer he was looking for, or the answer just confuses him. It's over his head. Finding how I take on black, and you cut me in. You said, "Do I identify as a black man?" Yes.
This is why.
Chief, you gotta go on mute and let me go, man.
You didn't make
you
a
let the other brother go.
question.
All right, so now he has a tethered co-host that's like Arabian, and he has a co-host who's known to be drunk online, so they're not following. But he asked me, do I call myself a black man? I said yes. And then he went on to tag the word black to dark-skinned people across the world. I'm like, wait. I said, no, I didn't agree to that. I didn't agree to black being attached to anybody dark or of African descent globally. You asked me, do I consider myself a black man? Yes, but I don't consider people outside of America black men and black women. He wouldn't let me get that out. If I'd have got that out, he'd have understood my position. I'm attempting to answer it. He can understand it. He keep cutting in.
Just let him answer it the way you want to, Chief.
The dude, he trying to bottle me in some goofy shit. He's gonna get cooked.
I'm gonna let you answer how you want to answer, but I just want to know. That's why I preference before I ask the question. Are you okay with being considered a black man?
You see that? He said, preface was asking me, am I good with being called a black man? I said yes, but I'm not good with you calling other people outside of my lineage black. What's so confusing about that? But he won't let that last part of the answer come out, so therefore he's confused. Right. Okay, me personally, yes. Them no.
Right. Hold on.
God damn.
This is what FBA, which means Foundational Black Americans.
What do we mean by black? Now you're gonna die tonight. When we say black, what does that mean?
Hold on.
So now I'm clearly asking the guy, what do I mean when I say I'm black? That's not an all-inclusive term. That's the point of delineating. We're saying black is for black Americans only. We're delineating, and that name is coming with us. Exclusively, specifically, uniquely, distinctively.
Man,
yeah, exactly, bro. That's why you should listen to the answer. Ron, you can't bottom me up, bro.
Ron, hold on.
You're not my level.
This is the thing. you're so paranoid and think someone's.
So the Arabian tether is back there laughing. Don't worry, I'm gonna get him too. Now that guy, the Arabian tether, remember his voice, because I'm gonna take you guys to the beginning of this video. These guys are thieves amongst each other. They don't even get along. Okay, so before the Arabian clout chasing tether came on the show, the guy talking to host was disrespecting him. And then he hopped on and joined him anyway. That's the epitome of grifting and clout chasing. I'll get to it in a second.
Trying to bottle.
Who's paranoid?
Listen.
You won't let me get more than 15.
Go ahead, Ron. Go ahead.
10
bro.
words
Go,
in.
go, go,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was trying to save you to confusion, my guy. Do you know what an exonym is, by the way? See, what's an exonym?
Go.
Exactly,
If you
exactly.
ask
You're
me
not
a
my level, my
question,
guy.
I'm about to go on a
Right,
soliloquy.
but I'm going
Okay,
to answer.
so
I know
just go.
he's still
I'm
talking.
going to soliloquy, but he can ask me a question and I just got to be quiet. But that's what happens when you join these corny, no view getting channels.
He says, go. Okay, I know the mistake you're going to make. You asked me personally, do I consider myself a black man? I say, yeah.
Ron, you're muted.
Miss D, peace.
Nobody can
Look,
hear you. Okay?
so he muted. Now, this weirdo, this unhinged, emotional weirdo comes on my panel all the time. He's out of control. I never mute the guy. I just let him, do self-therapy and just get himself together. But I never mute the guy. As you can see, I never mute Unc. So he's on my panel 1,000 times and I never mute him. And he always behaved like this on every panel he's on, including his own show. But he's muting me in the middle of my answer. And I'm trying to say, bro, you don't know what you're asking me. Let me help you understand my position. So when you get my answer, you don't frame it and try to pigeonhole me to something I don't agree with. See, you're plastering the word black to anybody of African descent. I'm not. I'm gatekeeping black. I'm saying only black Americans are black. Everybody else is from their country. They're named after their country or their tribe, and their country and tribe ain't called black. BLACK.
Stop fucking around with me, man. No. First of all, let me get some motherfucking order on my show. I don't do this shit. I don't do all this over talking. I don't do that. We've been having a great conversation like adults. We have. It didn't get out of control until Ron got to being tricky and playing.
So I'm over here trying to explain to the guy the difference between an exonym and an endonym because he doesn't understand that. And he's saying I'm being tricky. That's what happens, family. When certain words go over people's heads, they get insecure, they get intimidated, and they feel like they're being outshined on their platform. Okay? That's how they feel.
Games. I'm 56. I'm not playing with niggas no more. I don't have the tolerance as a grandpa no more. So let me just stop this right here. I mean, Ron, no harm. I'm not trying to have a gotcha moment.
Family, all of this because he asked me how do I define black? And I still haven't defined black, by the way, family. All this bullshit, all this babbling, just because I was attempting to define black and it wasn't what he thought. Like, okay, it's okay, man. It's okay. Your question, your setup question to your gotcha is not gonna work. And he's realizing that and he's throwing a temper tantrum.
I'm not trying to corner you. I don't play these games. I'm trying to have an adult conversation so I can understand and respond properly. I preference with black. FBA has black. Clearly, you guys must do, but sometimes you seem like you're not okay with being black, depending on the fucking type of conversation we're having.
Now, at what point so far that I played back, did anybody hear me not wanting to be called black and then wanting to be called black? What is this guy talking about? Like, my whole stance is we're the only black people. But again, comprehension, family, comprehension.
Like when you mixing and matching us being enslaved together in black and the ethnogenesis and families mixed and half was Mexican, you confusing people and trying to wiggle.
I'm confusing and trying to wiggle, but he couldn't take 15 seconds out of his time to understand what I mean by I'm black and other people aren't. 15 seconds. It's going to make the most sense possible. Okay? Going to make the most sense possible. But again, his setup question, he was asking me, do I consider myself Black American? Once I say yes, now he's going to group in a bunch of immigrants, of foreign immigrants into the same name and say, well, what about them? It's like, bro, I never said they were black. You did. I'm saying Black Americans are the only black people.
Okay. Okay, so I'm just saying, it's just a simple question, Ron. It's not a game. Calm down, bro.
By the way, the question you asked me, I already answered. I said, yeah, I'm Black American. But I objected when he started to tie in South Americans, Central Americans, uh, Africa, that the island. Then I said, ho, ho, ho. I didn't sign up for that one, bro. My answer about how I feel about myself doesn't extend to these foreign nations, my guy.
We just talking. I got love for you. Relax.
He's the one about to have a heart attack. His high blood pressure is going up, and he's telling me relax. He's the one no longer smiling and laughing. His face is tight, but he's telling me relax. That's the definition of projection. He's projecting.
You don't have to do all that. I keep telling you over and over. I got one sentence and you can go. Even I said, fuck it. Just go. Just go. That wasn't enough.
And I was trying to go.
You
Okay, hold on.
Just damn. All you had to say, this nigga telling me to go 10 times. Calm down, Ron.
Look.
Black power.
So I'm like, let me go. He said, calm down, Ron. It says Black Power, as though he made any sense.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, he says calm down. He's the one screaming and yelling. He's talking about he don't understand Native American ethnogenesis, but his name is Chief. All right, now
He got trigger, family. He's about to cut me off again. Watch this.
he keeps saying go.
Look, he just muted me.
Go. He cuts,
Village chief.
and that's why
Look, he just muted me. He said go. I go to go. 3 seconds in, he mutes me.
West Africans had village chiefs.
that's the hey ho. That's that Florida State Seminole.
No, because people are listening. For clarification, I'm not called chief.
But he told me to go though. Okay. So anyway, let's get past that. Now let's go to his boy, the Arabian guy. All right. So now how did Chief feel about the Arabian guy? Hold on. So right before the show came on, the guy, his name is Chief, but he has a problem with Native Americans or indigenous people in America. I'm just so confused about this guy. His name is Chief X. He's a native indigenous registered Muslim with the Nation of Islam. I mean, okay, whatever. All right, listen to this right here. This is the start of the video.
And right here, 4 years ago, I gave a shout out to Sheffreen of the Pseudo Killers because he was a pseudo killer at this time on slavery and Nzinga topic. We went back and forth over the Nzinga topic. Now I'm not fucking with Sheffreen no more because he's kind of disrespectful. I didn't left this.
I'm not effing with him no more. This is the beginning of the video. I'm not messing with the Arabian guy named Shepard no more because he's disrespectful. Watch this.
Discord being a pseudo killer at this time on slavery and Nzinga topic. We went back and forth over the Nzinga topic. Now I'm not fucking with Sheffrey no more because he's kind of disrespectful. I didn't left this Discord a bunch of people was in, and I'll never be back. People are just totally immature, disrespectful, bullies, cruel, rude. Fuck it. I said, let me take my hat and go and get back in my own lane and have some motherfucking peace, right? Why?
There you go. And now, with all of that being said, the clout chaser Arabian guy who can't get no motion no matter, he's been on 1,000 panels, he can't get no motion. You would think he'll take that as, all right, well, I ain't messing with you either. That's the guy who's chuckling. He hopped on the panel anyway and became the co-host. I mean, God, no dignity, no integrity, no respect, no morals. The guy just was told he not rocking with him. He disrespectful. His channel's immature. It's a nothing burger. Nobody goes there. No views. And the guy took that. First of all, why? The guy took that as an invitation to hop on the panel. The guy said, "I'm not effing with you. You go your way, I go my way." The guy, the Arabian cloud chasing tether, took that as an opportunity to join his panel and become the co-host. You can't make this up. Anyway, the Arabian tether was on my panel, and I was trying to explain to him, hey, man, we're the only black people. So he already knew my stance before I hopped on the panel with the chief guy, with the indigenous Muslim, the indigenous Nation of Islam Muslim. Yeah, man, he's selling indigenous corn pies. I don't know what's going on here. But the Arabian tether guy, this is him right here. This is him maybe a month earlier from this discussion. Right, and that's why I said.
Go ahead.
That's why I say going forward, I want people to forward. People want to look. I say where here we go. Everybody is not, and there are other folks black. I have a different thought about this than Tariq. Tariq calls other folks black. I don't. I say we're the only blacks. Everybody else is not, and there's something else. They're from their family. This was explained to the Arabian Tether a month ago prior to me joining the platform, so he already knew my position. You dig? And he allowed Chief to mute me and cause confusion. He already understood I'm explaining to him right now, we're the only black people. He's even going to give a little pushback, so he understands my position wholeheartedly. They're from their country. Then Tariq calls other folks black. I don't. I say we're the only blacks. Everybody else is not, and there's something else. They're from their court. They're from their country, their tribe, and I go into the history of exonyms, endonyms, ethonyms. I go into all that. What people called you and what you called yourself, and temporary terms, and and then we got the black is being used as an adjective. We say, well, which one of these guys use black as a proper noun with a capital B? So I call it capital B, lowercase b, or big B, little b. Like, which black are you? Big B or little b?
So they little B's.
All of them. The only big B started over. So you see, he's chuckling now. This is a giggling, zesty tether. This is a giggling, zesty Arabian prince tether, Arabian tether. Everything is just so funny to him. Right here. Now because an exonym is somebody else calling you that. So the Arabs call the Sudanese people Balad al-Sudan. That means black. That means someone else called you that. That's an exonym. They didn't. So prior to them being called Sudanese people, land of the blacks, colored people, adjective, lowercase b, from outsider. That's an exonym. Prior to them being called that, they were called their tribal names, Nubia, Kush, things like that. An outsider called them Sudanese. That's an exonym. That's different than us calling ourselves black in the 1960s with our own definition tied to it. No outsider called us black. And we had our own definition for black when we took on that name. When James Brown said, I'm black and proud, we had our own definition, and we took control of the context, the narrative of how black is supposed to be used, associated with us. When Dr. King said, I'm black and I'm beautiful, we had our own definition, not an outsider definition. That was not an exonym. When Kwame Ture said black power, that was not a exonym. That was not an outsider defining black power. Black Wall Street, Black Reconstruction, Black Panther, nothing to do with outsiders, no influence from outsiders at all. That's called an endonym. An endonym is a name that's non-outsider influenced, but Nubians and Kushites being called Sudanese, that's outsider influence. And they borrow the name and they borrow the context, the definition of the outsiders, land of the blacks. That's a complete exonym. That's not like us. They call themselves that. They call themselves Sudanese people. So that's an exonym. So we're the only people. So now, at one point, Arabs.
So now they call themselves Sudanese, though.
Yeah. So you heard that? He said, but now they call themselves. Doesn't matter. It's still an exonym, my guy. That's what makes it an exonym. If you don't call yourself what they call you, it's not really your ethnonym. Like, you got to stamp it, validate it by saying, okay, that's good enough. I call myself that. Okay, that's not an endonym because you had no control. You didn't define it, and it was outside of this. That's an exonym. All right, so I tried to explain to the tether. So he already knew this. All right, we went at it for like 20, 30 minutes. He couldn't understand it. No problem. Tether comprehension issues. Got it. Tether comprehension malfunctions. Got it. So now we're on a panel with the chief Muslim guy, a native indigenous Muslim guy. And now the Arabian Tether, I guess, did some research and thought he had me. So he dropped the Sudanese argument, and he's going to pick up this argument right here.
Their language, culture, country, things like that. Nobody said they're black. If they did, we'll see black people today, right? So they have a language, they have a flag, they have a country that's not black. So we're the only people who say we're black. Now, other people used to say they're not black. Okay, I got. So you want to do that? You want to?
No, I'm saying that we are not the only people who
Okay.
chose the
Okay.
word black as their
Okay.
ethnonym.
So who else? Who else?
The Brazilians.
Yeah, you heard him? He said the Brazilians. So this Arabian tether said the Brazilians. Okay, so that's what we're gonna get. We're gonna pick up from right there. One more time.
The
Okay.
chose the
Okay.
word black as their
Okay.
ethnonym.
So who else? Who else?
The Brazilians.
Black.
Okay, cool. So let's tackle that real fast. Let's tackle the Brazilians. All right. So we're gonna tackle everybody because they try to make a case for the Haitians who call themselves Haitians, the Sudanese people who has an X on them, and Brazilians. Okay, he said the Brazilians. Are you sure about that? So let's give some back information. Okay, so in the United States, not in Brazil, not in Sudan, not in Haiti, in the United States, black is a proper noun representing a specific ethnic group and culture. Watch this. In Brazil, words like preto or negro often function as adjectives describing physical appearance. So he's already wrong right there. He's already wrong right there. Okay. So between the 1960s and the 1980s, we Black Americans underwent a label identity shift. We rejected Negro, which had become a colonial exonym, right? Because it was given to us and it had its own definition attached to the name. We took on it, we called ourselves Negro, but it's still an exonym because we took on an outsider name with an outsider definition. That's an exonym. And colored. Okay, we adopted colored as well, which is also an exonym. Okay, now, but anyway, we rejected Negro, we rejected colored to adopt black as a self-chosen name. Now we took on black in the 1960s for ourselves with our own definition. We capitalized black with a capital B to denote a peoplehood, similar to how Irish or Japanese are capitalized, like Nigerian is capitalized, a proper noun. So it wasn't just about a color, it was a nation within a nation. Now, the Brazilian context in Brazil, racial identity has historically been a continuum rather than a binary. Okay, so someone might be called preto, literally the color black adjective tether guy, negro dark, pardo brown mixed, or moreno brunette tan. Now watch this. These are often used as descriptors of how a person looks. Black in America is not describing how we look. Mike Prince ain't goddamn dark skin black. Okay, black for us was defining an experience, a lineage starting from U.S. chattel slavery past civil rights movement all the way down to where we are now, 2026. Okay, it continues to go. It continues to grow. It continues to evolve. It's actually the word I want. It continues to evolve. Okay, you got it. So all those terms in Brazil, preto, negro, pardo, moreno, are adjectives. None of them are capitalized. None of them are proper nouns. So the tether, Arabian tether guy is wrong. The Brazilians didn't use black the way we did, but there's more. So those were often used. The moreno, pardo, preto, negro, they were often used as descriptors of how a person looks in a specific light or social setting rather than a permanent name for their tribe. It wasn't a permanent name. So now we go into endonym versus exonym. An endonym is a name a group uses for themselves. An exonym is a name given to them by others, and normally your colonizers or oppressors. Black Americans, we, FBAs, during the Black Power movement, black became 100% endonym. It was a standalone name used to define every aspect of life. Black history, Black excellence, Black Panther Party, Black Wall Street, Black Reconstruction, Black Pride, Black Beauty. You dig? Black banks, Black. It was not a placeholder or a nickname. It was the definitive title of our ethnic group. However, Brazilians, for a long time, the term Negro was used by the state The state gave it to them, or the elite to categorize people. So the elite called them that. And then he had a movement called the Movimiento Negro, the black movement. And the tether tried to reference that, the Arabian tether. But in Brazil, that movement they worked hard to reclaim this as a political identity for the average citizen. Those terms still function as color categories. Movimiento Negro is a color category, Arabian tether, on a census, IBGE, rather than a collective proper name that replaces their nationality. So a Movimiento Negro, which means the black movement, was not a proper name that replaced their nationality. You lying, filthy tether. Tethers do lie. A Brazilian will almost always say, I am Brazilian first. They don't say I'm Movimiento Negro first, or Pardo, or Preto, or Negro, or Moreno. All right. However, in contrast, we FBAs, we definitely 60s, 70s, 80s, we say we're black as a primary ethnic identity distinct from the white mainstream, the white, quote unquote, white mainstream. And this was a standalone name, wasn't a nickname, it was no placement holder. Okay, this was permanently, we're black. Okay, now what is a standalone name versus a replacement holder or replaceable holder? Let me break that down. Okay, so let's go. So are you guys familiar with the one drop rule? The one drop rule effect, which is called scientific racism. Okay. Now, it goes back to that. So because of the US one drop rule, there was no middle ground. You were either black or white, right? This forced a massive, diverse group of people to unify under a single, unchangeable proper noun. Now, the racial democracy myth in Brazil. The myth of racial democracy encouraged people to use a light-dark continuum because there were hundreds of color terms like mulatto, confuso, mameluco. The word for black remained an adjective, Tether. It was something you were an attribute, not the name of the group you belong to as an entity, Tether. Okay, so you're wrong. So anyway, so let's explain how we use black and how Brazilian use black. So here in the greatest country known to mankind, we use black as a capital B proper noun. Brazilian use black as an adjective to describe how they physically look in the lowercase sense, right? Adjective. We use black to function as who we are. Black to us is our ethnic identity. It describes who we are. They and most of the world of African descent, when they use black, is to describe how they look. You see the difference? We use black to tell you who we are. They use black to tell you how they look. Unity. Black was the total name for all of us, not them. It was fractional and divided by shades. So you took on Moreno, you took on Preto, Pardo, whatever, depending on how brown, light, or dark you were. Ours is self-selected endonym. Theirs, exonym, census, state-given Arabian tether. You got it now? It was given to them by the state, exonym. Okay. Now I could go in deeper about the Movimiento Negro movement, but I will not. I'll land my plane right there, and I'm gonna bring you to this. So now, what I'm saying is we need to gatekeep black. Okay, stop letting these guys take on black because it causes too much confusion. Now I'm gonna play a video of a tether calling in Tariq Nasheed. Watch the confusion when they let them take on the term black, right? And I think Dan is doing a better job of checking them, but there's only a few people right now online that's gatekeeping black the right way. I'm one of them. I'm like the leading voice. You got Lex was the first voice that I know of in recent times, right? Not forever. I know people before both of us, But in this delineation movement, Lex is the first one I know of. I've been like the loudest voice and the continuous voice on this, and I'm seeing some other FBA channels get on board, and I'm loving it. Okay, so now watch the confusion when they call in Tariq Nasheed's show, and they're allowed to say they're black. So eventually, I'm trying to get on Tariq Nasheed's show, his podcast, and get some straightness so we all on one accord and we can stop them from tethering on to black.
Language is important, right?
All right, so now this guy claims he studied language and language is important. Listen to this fool.
Accurate
Let's
and accurate
let's
term.
go back. What do you disagree with, sir?
All right. I mean, I just want to break down language because language is important, right? Someone's an American citizen, they're American, right?
Right, of course.
Okay. And if we're looking at the term black, that's not just an internal thing, that's the way the world sees you as well, correct?
In some
You see that? He says not an internal thing, it's how the world sees you. No, it's internal, my guy. The world don't see us as black. The world identifies black because we're separate black. So the world see us the way we told them how we are. Just like the world see Haitians because they told the world the Haitians. The world acknowledges Irish people, Eritreans as Eritrean because they told the world who they are. So the world recognizes us in America black because we told the world we're black.
in some cases, because it just depends on the person. But in some cases,
Well, I mean, like if you walk outside, somebody looks at you, you can look at a white guy and say they're white. All right. Like without me knowing that person.
See, that is not how that works. We know that there's hella Puerto Ricans that look like they're white. We know that there are hella Puerto Ricans that look like they black. So that doesn't work. That look-alike stuff doesn't work. That's why I got the song. It's like, they not like us. They not like us. They are our look-alikes. They look like us. You dig? No, that look-alike stuff doesn't work, man. They look like our look-alikes. They not like us. No, that look-alike stuff doesn't work.
So if they look sub-Saharan in lineage, in background, then people are going to.
Okay, so I'm forgetting two guys' names. It's the guy with the cowboy hat. You might say Ant CEO do it. So yeah, so people are hopping on that gatekeeping, but I want them to like be more scholarly because I heard their arguments. But I want them to be more scholarly and start to borrow my arguments, which is the language, exonym, endonym, ethnonym. Like you got to know that. That's how you separate it. And you also got to ask the right questions. In what sense are you black? When did you become black? What's the name of your country? Oh, it's the name of your country is Guyana. Then you're not black. You're Guyanese. That's why I say, in what sense are you black? You become magically black when you come to America. That's not how that works. When I go visit Jamaica, I'm not magically Jamaican. When I visit Nigeria, I'm not magically Nigerian. If I visit Brazil, I'm not magically Brazilian. It's not how that works, man. You're still Jamaican in America. You get citizenship, you're Jamaican American. You're still Nigerian in America. You get citizenship, you're Nigerian American. You dig? If you're a tether, you come over here. You're a tether American. Nothing changes. You're not black.
We're going to call them black. And if you go back to the history of the word, as far as black people being called black, that had nothing to do with America. That had everything to do with the way the first port.
Hey, thank you, Chad Smith, for a super chat. He said between 12 a.m. and 3 a.m., you have to watch Tariq. Yeah, but what platform is he on? Is he on Twitter, YouTube, TikTok? I got to know which platform you're on so I can go there.
Portuguese and Spanish people who came to Africa looked and said, how do we describe these people that we're seeing? Well, they used the term Negro, which literally translates to black. So if someone is a citizen, and
so if this is easy to understand the way I'm pointing it out, then press 1. But if there's confusion and the way I'm breaking this down, if there's confusion and you need more clarity, you might have a question or two, you might have some pushback, please click the link. Like that's what it's for. It's for dialogue. It's for dialogue. Click the link and let us hear you out.
And they're American and the world sees them as black, they're black Americans. So if someone says that they are a first generations, they are the first generation of Black American citizens in their family, then that's an accurate.
See, that's some slick stuff, dude. You're not the first generation. You cannot be a first generation of an ethnonym that's already existing, my guy. What are you talking about? Ethnonyms are unique, distinct, exclusive. Like you can't. I can't go to. I can't go to China and be a first generation Chinese person. What are you talking about, man? You need ancestry. You need Chinese ancestry starting from the inception. This guy just talking like he act like Black and American is just things you just take on. Like putting on a coat or joining a football team and now you're a New York Giant. They're treating our ethnonym like it's a football team.
Term. I think you're accurate when you say foundational Black American. That's an absolutely accurate term. But I think the person who's saying that they are a Black American, like my parents.
A true society, I think you're trolling. I think you're distracting. So it's 10:31. You got to 10:33 to click that link, or I'm gonna get you out of here, bro. So you got 2 minutes to click the link. Or you can self-deport, or I gotta deport you. I think you're just I think you're distracting. I think you're trolling on purpose. So you got 2 minutes. You got 10:33 to click the link and join me and let me hear you out, or you got to self-deport, or I will deport you. You dig? I'm ICE tonight.
Parents are immigrants. I'm born here. I'm a Black American. Well, I mean, you don't have to like it. People don't have to agree with me, but it is a historically accurate term. I'm an American citizen by birth, born here. I am Black.
Right.
And so therefore I'm a Black.
Wait. But how are you Black? See, he never explained how he's Black. He just made it. He just said it. He said, I'm Black. No, you're not. Dude, you come from a country. That's what you are. I don't know what country this guy comes from, but that's who you are. So like the pushback, shall we kind of let him get that off? And if I was there, I would call back. I would call up. Now he got some pushback, but I watched this. He got pushback, but it wasn't pushback. Like, bro, when you came to this country, you came from what country? Let's just give him one. Let's say Nigeria. So, bro, if you're first gen Nigerian, yes or no? Yes. Okay, do you have citizenship? Yes. Then aren't you Nigerian, Nigerian American? No different from an Italian would be Italian American, Japanese. How are you different? Like, so you mean tell me like a Japanese person could come over here and automatically be white American? Like, no. Like you came over as an immigrant, you cannot be white, you cannot be Black. You are of your country plus the American nationality.
Black American. Am I a foundational Black American? Absolutely
Right.
not. But so I think, when people say, oh, well, they can't call themselves like, first generation or whatever, but it's an accurate term.
All right. So True Society, you didn't click the link, so I'm gonna deport you. Okay, let me deport you. You still look, I'm deporting you, but you still can click the link. And if you click the link, I will give you a 3-day stay. You did. Okay, but you're deported right now, my guy. This guy said Black's a race. Okay. Deported him.
Let's just be accurate. Everybody can be accurate in their descriptors.
But
right?
technically, yeah, it could be used. See, that's why they're using it, because again, a lot of folks are looking for technicalities here. So technically, that can be used. It's still deceptive.
No, I disagree with that. And that's the part where we got to get to our big brother, Tariq Nasheed. It cannot be used because we're not going to allow it. It's being used because it's being allowed. Just because something is being allowed don't make it right or legal. That's infiltration. Okay, that's cosplaying at its finest. No, you cannot just magically be a Black American, man. So you can't magically be a foundation Black American ADOS or a descendant of freedmen, U.S. freedmen. That's not how that works.
It's still kind of deceptive though, because it makes it seem like you say you're first generation, somebody might get confused by that and think, okay,
if you can get deported, if any relative you ever had in this country can get deported, you cannot be foundation Black American.
that means were you here during the first generation of Black people? So that it can confuse people. And I think that's the part why.
When I say relative, I'm talking about from your genealogy, okay? Your genealogy. Because they'll say, oh, no, my cousin. Oh, no, your genealogy, my guy.
They say that because they know that. be a little vague, even though they can technically roll under that banner. That's why we're kind of calling it out. Like, okay, well, what's that about? That's why, again,
Well, why would you assign like nefarious purpose to that? If you, and me and you just talking, we said that's an accurate description, right? So, like, if I can come to that logical conclusion, then anyone can come to that logical conclusion. Why give nefarious? I think it's smart that you
So you see, when I watched this video, I was cringing. Like, Tariq, you letting them tether on to black. No, we're taking black back. They're not black. They're an immigrant plus their nationality if they're a citizen.
started using the term foundational Black American. If somebody who is not a foundational Black American now says that because that term now exists, then you could sign nefarious motives to that. But if someone is just literally describing what they are, in fact, then that's I don't see any reason why you can ascribe
I'm
nefarious
going to
motives
say
to
why.
that.
Because see, and there's a video that a girl made, and she was talking about the Essence Fest, and we have been critical of the Essence Fest. So this woman got on, and she got on TikTok and say, as a first generation Black American, I say that Black people need to do this. So then, when you say you're a first generation Black American, you start acting like you are from the lineage, and then you are an authority to speak on our issues, and you are not. That's the problem. That's when it becomes.
Well, so she's an American citizen and she's
But
Black, right? So she's a Black
but
American. So she has authority to
not.
speak on the issue.
See, that's the thing. He keep establishing people are black. It's like, dude, how are they black? You're just saying that. They're not black, my guy. In what sense are they black? So yeah, we got to tighten up on that. In what sense are they black? Just because they're African descent? That's not how that works.
Issues because she
No, no,
is part now
no,
of
no,
the culture.
no, no. You're not of the lineage. You're not.
No, I never said lineage. I said the
Right?
culture, and the culture is an ever evolving
Part of the
thing.
culture.
Culture updates over time, and that person in the timeline that we are
Slow
in right.
down. No culture. Our culture is our lineage. Let me slow you down on that. No. You don't get to speak on our lineage, and you're not of the lineage because you don't. You're not going to have the same care and intensity and camaraderie for the lineage. So you're not going to speak on the lineage. And if you're not of it, just like I can't speak on Nigerian business. If you're from an Igbo tribe, yeah, we all black. I can't speak on your tribal business and you can't speak on our lineage business. You understand? You're speaking from the perspective of an outsider. Yeah, you understand? So when people start doing that, I'm a first Black generation Black, whoop, 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 and I say we, us. No. Ain't no we and us. Come on now. We had to go.
Well, you see how you're confusing the lineage and the culture thing, and you're trying to mix those
Not at
up,
all.
right?
No,
Like,
not at all. No. I keep it on track because these people start saying, well,
You see, so that's Tariq's biggest mistake right there. He said, yeah, we're all black, but not all black. See, Tariq now she's looking at black as a descriptor. You feel me? That's a mistake. That's not how we look at black because Tariq Nasheed is not black. He's not very dark. Okay. And he has a wife who's mixed. She's black. She's not dark. He got kids who are black. They're not dark. So he's looking at black as a descriptor. That's misapplying black. So what sense is anybody black? You feel me? So what sense are we black? You got to ask that question. Why are we called black? That's because we chose it. That's our endonym. We chose black as a label in the 1960s and we gave it a definition, and the definition is the black experience. It's the name of our ethnogenesis, which is the black experience. Okay, so somebody else cannot be black like us in this country because they have not experienced our ethnogenesis. Our ethnogenesis gatekeeps the word black.
well, as a first generation Black American, we went through slavery and we had to, and you're an immigrant.
I don't think I've heard anybody say that.
I've seen that. We have seen that. That's the problem. We've seen that. And Free, your family, y'all from the Caribbean, by the way, Free?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let me get my brother Dan in here. Let's get Dan.
Yeah, I was trying to find this dude Free social media, and I was so upset with this dialogue. I wanted this dude Free. That's how I found AC, by the way. The dude AC was saying something similar, and that's how I got him over here. I tracked his little tether ass down like a nice agent on Instagram, got him over here and cooked him. But this guy's free. I need to find this guy. If anybody know this dude social media handle, please put that in chat. Because I want to bait him into this conversation and cook the lights out of him.
In here. Brother Dan, hop on in, sir. Brother Dan. If you can unmute your microphone, Brother Dan, that'll be dandy. That'll be great, brother. Mr. Dan. Uh-oh. I hope Dan don't. Oh, I'm gonna get Dan back up in a second. Dan had some technical issues right now, but I do want to get Dan back up to chop up.
Let me ask you real quick, Tariq. What's your issue with the Essence Fest? I'm trying to understand what the outrage is.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of things. And then if you look at my tweets, I told people damn near a decade ago when they brought those non-FBAs in there, in essence, as the heads of it, and I saw some of the little slick stuff they were doing and some of the articles they were putting out and just the way they were moving, I told people a decade ago that shit is going downhill from here. And sure enough, it went downhill because the people who are now running Essence, they don't share the same camaraderie. So you're not going to look at our lineage with the same respect. They've already said they're trying to use our lineage and our lineage brand, which is Essence, to start promoting stuff for Nigeria, and they've already said this. So they have a real ulterior motive to promote other things and to big up these other cultures off of our backs.
Oh yeah, let me say this. You got all these informants, provocateurs creating these Instagram accounts, these fake Instagram accounts, trying to send me requests. Dude, that's not gonna work. Okay, I'm not some thirsty tether that see a woman's profile half naked. And I'm like, oh my God, let me befriend this person. Let me follow them and send them. No, I'm not thirsty, my guy. I'm not an ugly, disgusting looking tether where these fake profiles is going to get me thirsty, and no, that's not going to happen. Sorry. I believe in quality. Okay. Half naked ain't enough. Quality. So it ain't going to work. Yeah, I can stop. I had about like 1,000 requests from these fake IG model accounts. It's not going to work, man.
And that's not what the spirit of Essence is. Dan, are you in here, brother?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'll be having Wi-Fi issues sometime.
Go ahead. What's up, Dan? I got free here.
Yeah, I heard what he said, and this is why we have to highlight the difference between us two. Color does not equal culture. So just somebody looks like us doesn't mean they share the same culture as us. In fact, the lady who was saying, "Oh, she's first generation Black American," well, technically she says that because on paper you can say that, but when we say Black in America, they know good and damn well they're talking about foundational Black Americans. And the reason why they do this is to deliberately cause confusion. And they know they're doing it. And I'm tell you how they know it, because the second they win a spelling bee or something like that, they make sure to put their modifier in there.
Oh yeah.
The first thing they'll say is, "Oh, this is for Nigeria or Haiti or whatever Caribbean island they're from." So they're only now referring themselves as Black Americans now is because the delineation movement is happening, and they want to be tied to our movement. That's the only reason why they're doing it, because at first they were very proud Ghanaian, and Jamaican, and Trinidadian, and all of this stuff. Now they're just dropping all of that to say Black Americans. We're the only ones who said that, and they know it. It's that plausible deniability thing. Well, technically we are Black. Listen, there are three Blacks: color, culture, status. Just because you color Black doesn't mean you're culturally Black, and they know it.
You see, so Dan was on it, but he just needs to know what I know. Okay. And he will hit him hard. All right. So I don't need the credit. Like, anybody can take my argument, call in Tariq Nasheed, and let them know the argument, the position. Like, I will appreciate it. I won't be like, oh man, you called in before me. No, I don't have no ego. You dig? Anybody believe that they know the talking points that I position or propose when it comes to who's Black and who's not? You can take my argument and call in. I don't mind. If you want to give me flowers on top of that, that's great too. But I don't have to be the one to make the call in. You know, if you know my argument pretty well, you can take the argument, you could debate it, you could call whoever, Dennis Sperling, Afro-League, you can make your own, do your own platform and you know, go in. That's all. I mean, because it's not about who says it first. It's about it getting out there and being effective.
Again,
Free.
I'm going back to the historically accurate term. If we go back to why people are called black, and who started calling people black, if you were running around Africa before a white person ever stepped foot on Africa, you would have no reason to call each other black because that's all you knew. All right,
Let me
so
ask you a
that was a
question.
describer. That the word Negro was a describer used by the Portuguese and the Spanish to describe who they were seeing. And if we go back to why people are called black
Black folk
and who
or
started
Africans
calling
at the
people
time
black,
described
if you were running
these
around,
people as white,
because we don't need to get into everything else. This is a quick cultural describer, or excuse me, a quick racial describer. That's number one. Number two, if it is accurate, and what I'm trying to find out is, are you saying that I'm not being accurate in the fact that these people are, if they are American citizens, they are American, and if they are of sub-Saharan African descent and they look black to 99% of the world, that they are black? If that is an accurate description, then I don't understand why we have to hate on people for giving an accurate description of themselves.
well,
If
first
you
off, it's
hold
not a
on, say
hate.
one more.
All right, so he's just gonna keep repeating black, 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 black. So let me throw this at you. I think this is another brother that does good with this.
You have documents, they're not even asking you if you're okay. They just, as soon as they know you're black or something, they just like literally grab me from the back. I turn around,
Hold on. As soon as they know that you're black, why are you putting everybody into the same situation that you're in? After 2 seconds, I can tell that you're not black. Like, you're not a black American. You are African. And
So this guy's name is Adonis, and you see he's on it. He's on it. He's another one that's saying, "Nah, you ain't black. Nah," and he's making it clear you're not a black American. You're an African.
you already said that you was in. Why are you putting everybody into the same situation that you're in? After 2 seconds, I can tell that you're not black. Like, you're not a black American. You are African. And you already said that you was in an African store. And I understand when people are gonna say, no, we're all this, and that's the problem. A lot of people like to run with this narrative and say that we're all this. Hold on. I'm gonna give my opinion at the end. Let's just keep going because this is a pretty lengthy video. Here we go.
I was confused because it broke through the people back door. I was totally confused. They grabbed my hand for no reason. I'm a fucking citizen. They don't even care, bro. They just grabbed me. The guy came in. It's like, you're not supposed to be.
All right, so I only played this. It's some whining African tether who was in some type of African store. You know, ICE is, you know, it's obvious. Like they know where to position themselves where only tethers go. African stores and certain warehouses. Come on, man, it's real easy to catch these folks. We know American citizens don't frequent those places like that. So anyway, it turned out there was an ICE bus and she snuck out. Like she got away. And so she's on here crying because she knows that, her luck has run out. Like they found her, they know how to get her, they know where she goes, they know where she lives. And so she's in a car afraid to go home. She's riding around in circles around town, afraid to go home because she know what it is. She know that she's going to be deported. She says she's an American citizen, but then later on in the video, she admitted that she don't have any papers because Adonis had pointed out, if you're an American citizen, then why are you shook? Why are you like afraid? Why this is your concerns doesn't make any sense. It's not linking to anything. Like you're behaving as someone who has something to worry. Okay, you're behaving as somebody who doesn't have citizenship, does not have paperwork. And later she admitted that she does not have paperwork. Okay. So all this was for nothing. 1 second. Yeah. So she ended up double talking and ended up telling on herself. All right. I'm sorry. We close. Okay. So, uh,
the store is a private property. I had to take my him out of him, and it came from the back door. They're not even going through the front. They broke in the people in the African store. They broke in the back door.
So you're African, and this is what I'm saying. Like, you put down and be like, oh, but what if no citizen would say that I'm a.
All right, we back. Yeah, so we're gatekeeping the word black. We're not letting nobody borrow it, nobody hijack it, and they're trying to hijack black because this is their way to stay in the country illegally, you dig, and to hide behind what we built for many reasons, more than one. It appears if they can come under black, hold on, if they could come under black without no challenge, it appears to the authorities and to legislators and politicians and judges, it appears that we got their back. Because after all, aren't we both black? You see, so we're delineating, saying, no, 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 no. If y'all come to deport them, they are on their own. Okay? They don't have no foundational Black American support. They got to hold their own nuts. Hold on, let me make sure my headset connected. Give me a second. Let's make sure my headset is connected so we can work. All right, it looks like my headset. Let me see how my microphone sound. 1 second. Shit. 1 second before I start running my damn mouth. Let's make sure everything's okay. Here we go. Okay, we're good. Yeah. So we can't let them get that off. They're calling us so black because, again, like the rest of the nation doesn't know what we're doing, like delineation. It's starting to pick up some steam, but the nation kind of like is catching up slowly. But right now, that's why they're all trying to hijack black. It's to cosplay and sneak in like they're one of us, and therefore they won't be targeted. Or if they are targeted, they get to frame it as ICE targets blacks. You feel me? See how slick it gets? And when you say black, don't forget the world automatically assumes it's talking about one of us, somebody of the lineage. So we got to make sure we gatekeep and protect our unique ethnonym, endonym, and make sure there's no confusion when okay. So I shouldn't have done that. Oh shit. Make sure there's no confusion on who is who's being deported and who's not. Shit. Oh. Okay, again, the links at the top. Anybody that's confused on who's black, who's not, anybody has pushback, anybody has questions, concerns, anybody who thinks I'm wrong, that link is there for you. Yes, I'm saying that the only people who is qualified to use the word black, especially in America, are Foundation Black Americans, nobody else. Everybody else is purposely trying to hijack our lineage. They know that our lineage is golden, is respected, is considered, is highly valued. You dig, right? We're naturally highly valued people, and we're not gonna let somebody steal our legacy. That's not happening.
Just like we can't steal Hussein Bolt's, you dig? All of his records, we can't add that to Black Americans, right? But we're not gonna allow you to steal our stuff as Caribbean or um, Caribbean or African or Brazilian. They try to throw Brazilian in the mix. Yeah, but that Arabian tether is highly disingenuous, highly deceitful, disrespectful. The chief NOI Muslim pointed out earlier and still allowed them to come on and join the podcast. So what happens is when you allow people like that as your co-host after you just said you don't rock with, that's a space of thieves and liars and deceivers. And you know there's no honor amongst thieves. Because if I say somebody ain't worth a damn, you can hop on my panel to get cooked, but you're not gonna be my co-host. Like I have too much integrity for that. Oh my god. You feel I got way too much integrity to fall for something like that. You feel me? Oh. So yeah, so I know Tariq Nasheed for sure is going to be on YouTube, and he'll retake call-ins when he does his YouTube podcast tonight. He should be going live any minute now. Yeah, but his he used to take when he was on what's the other thing? Blog Talk Radio, if that was it, Ustream. When he was on that, he took call-ins. But yeah, he don't take them as much when he's live on YouTube every Sunday. He's live every Sunday on YouTube. Outside of that, he does premieres. Okay. So, but they be trying hard though. They be trying hard. They be trying hard to throw at Sudanese people at us. That same tether did that. The same Arabian tether. Then when that didn't work, he tried to ambush me with the Brazilians. That don't work. And then we had Tether Dream and Revenue, who tried to ambush me with Les Noir, the Haitians. No, doesn't work. Doesn't work. Doesn't work. We're the only black people. And again, in what sense are you black? Haitians are Haitians. Here we go again. Haitians are Haitians. Brazilians are Brazilian. And Sudanese people are Sudanese people, right? So no, they're not black. We're just black. So these guys want to pretend. Remember, I say black as a stand-alone ethnonym. That means there's no I'm black and I'm Nigerian. That's not standalone. That's that's a call to having a co-D, a co-defendant. You dig? A co-conspirator. We're just black. There's no other co-name. These guys are black and then they're of their country. Nigeria, Brazil, either or, just pick one. Nah, it's not how that works. We're just black. That's called a standalone ethnonym. When you're just black, black suffices it is by itself. If you call, if a Brazilian was in a room with a black American, and you say, "Hey, will the black man?" Or they were both men, and you say, "Hey, can the black man please stand up?" Right? Do you think they both gonna stand up? Let's say if I know what a Pan-African would say. I know what a tether would say. He said they will both stand up. All right, gotcha, bitch. All right. So now, if you say, "Hey," the same two men. If you say, "Hey, only the Brazilian man stand up," who's standing up? Exactly, ain't black like us. You see, that's what I mean by a standalone ethnonym. That's what I mean. Two people in the room, a Brazilian a Sudanese person, and a Black American. Okay, FBA. If you say, "Hey, black," well, if you're a black man, stand up. A tether would say all three would stand up. No problem. Let's go back and ask this question. If you say, "Hey, will give this command. Hey, will the Sudanese person stand up?" Ask that same tether, who is going to stand up? he better say all three, because if only one stands up, they're X'd out. That ain't a standalone ethnonym. Okay, now there's two left. Okay, hey, will the Brazilian man stand up? Who is going to stand up? If only one person stands up, then that just argued my case in point. It's not a standalone ethnonym. We only stand up when we hear black. Oh, splat. You feel me? Like, we only stand up when we hear black. We're not going to stand up if we hear Brazilian. Hey, African man, stand up. We're going to be sitting. Okay, African man, stand up. We're going to look around like, who are you talking to? And I was trying to tell somebody that joined my panel, I think it was Rasun. I think when Rasun joined my panel, I was trying to explain to him, I said, bro, if you walk up to a Foundation Black American, right, and you call them an African, I said, bro, we will be highly offended. I said, is that true or false? I said, is that true or false? He said, oh, you should do a video. You should walk up to people and find out. I said, why would I do that? That's like a white man walking up to black men and saying, are you an Nigger? Why would you voluntarily call somebody an offensive term that you know is offensive just to prove the obvious? Get attacked just to prove the obvious. If you call a Foundation Black American an African, you will be offending them, and you might find yourself in a shouting match or a fight, a physical fight. Okay, you might find yourself in a physical fight because we look at that term as disrespectful. They will say, I'm not African, man, I'm black. Or at the very least, we're gonna say we're not African. Okay, that's a fact. That's a fact. So again, any doubters, the link is right there. Call in. Rasun, he called in. I never muted him, even though he was hostile. Even though I sometimes spoke over him, but he never got muted. So nobody can play the mute thing. Oh, no, you're just gonna mute me. No, that's not true. Only mute those who are disrespectful and keeps talking over. So even when we were going at it, me and Rasun, when I said, hey, let me talk, he let me talk. We had no choice. But I'm saying, like, it wasn't that big of a deal to mute him. I'm like, all right, let me go now. And then the last time we talked, we just gave each other, 3 minutes. And he violated that time, of course, not me, because of emotions. But yeah, man, 3 minutes. So if you want to come on and you don't want to be muted at all, then just ask for 1 minute or 1 minute and 30 seconds of uninterrupted time. That's all you gotta do. If you don't want to be if you think you have something to say and you don't want to be interrupted, just say, hey, I'm Boz Ron, FBA Ron. Let me get 1 minute and 30 seconds of uninterrupted time. Okay. And as long as you're not disrespectful or misrepresenting, that you will not have 1 minute and 30 seconds of time to disrespect those or misrepresent us. That's not gonna happen. I'm gonna chime in immediately. So when that weirdo guy yesterday, he kept saying FBA was a movement. Yes, I can't let that go. I gotta chime in because you're being disrespectful. We don't say FBA is a movement. Matter of fact, it's offensive to say that to us. And he kept saying it. Now it could have been unintentionally. Doesn't matter. You still can't. We can't let that go. We got to correct you right away. Okay. So I put the link in the chat because I really want somebody to try to oppose that we're the only black people. I'm saying black Americans are the only black people. Everybody else isn't, or they aren't black, and they're just from their country or tribe. And if they say they're black, they're cosplaying us, and they only became black after like 1990, 1980, but way after us. Okay, we became black as an endonym in 1960. When did you become black as an endonym? And real simple, an endonym is you defining yourself. You're giving yourself your own label. No outsider, no colonizer, no oppressor. You gave yourself the name. You gave yourself the definition. And it's the only name you go by, which makes it a stand-alone ethnonym. I'm very clear in what I'm saying. So Arabian tether, I know you're listening. I know you're mad. You ain't black. It's okay. You're whatever you are, wherever you're from. You ain't black. Okay, you're Arabian, wherever you are. That's what you are, my guy. You're not black. It's okay. All right. And we're making this known. And I'm so glad the other channels are on board. They're helping to gatekeep our ethnonym. Okay. So let me go with some other things, okay, that we've been let's go with some other things that's been so now that Rasun guy, the guy with all the mouth of calling in and hooping and hollering for 7 hours, he's been in my inbox trying to gaslight me, rage bait me to come to his platform. Like he doesn't have a platform. So all that meant was I'm gonna come to somebody else's platform with about 12 Pan-Africans on there, waiting to talk over me and say, no, answer this question. Like you see how Chief did it. You see how Chief, we gotta get that guy name. We gotta get that guy name. Chief, we gotta give him a name. We gotta get Chief a name. You see how Chief Muslim, I'm gonna call him Chief Muslim for now until I get a better name. All right, so I'm giving him an excellent. I'm assigning him an excellent. All right, so you see how Chief Exonym, I mean just the Chief Exonym. You see, that's a good one. Chief Exonym. Let's go with that. You see how Chief Exonym started to mute me and wouldn't let me talk. That's family. That's all that's going to happen when I join other people's platform. He asked me a question. He said, "Do you consider yourself a black man?" I said, "Yes." Then he followed up with, "Okay. Matter of fact, let me just play it so y'all can see what the because I really didn't play that part tonight. I played it before, but I didn't play it tonight. So hold on. I want y'all to see why it was an issue. Hold on. Hold on, family. Hold on. Okay, so here we are. Here we are. Let me share my screen. Those that were enslaved with us who didn't come on slave ships,
Who
right?
was
Those
enslaved
people.
with us? Who's those enslaved
I
with
just
us?
said the Native
Hey, listen,
Americans.
listen.
Goddamn, we
No,
say the
no.
same thing over and over and
Listen,
over.
listen. Okay, listen.
This is crazy,
Because
unbiased.
first you were
I ain't
saying
lying.
those who were listen.
All right, so family. Now, some of y'all was like, oh, I'm biased. You got to say indigenous peoples or the black Indians. No, I know what they're trying to do. He wants to argue that. He wants to argue that. Okay, I don't want to deflect. I'm trying to make a bigger point. So I'm just going to say what he wants to say. He wants to call everybody Native Americans. He want to group up the red, the black, all as Native American. So I can still reach what I'm saying, talking to him. I can make my point still. So I don't want to deflect. I don't want to say, oh, the black Indians are native or indigenous people, because that's going to be a whole nother argument. That's what they want to do. I know their position. That's all they do. All they do is debate this topic. And they're trying to gaslight me to take a position like that. I'm not doing it. Okay. You want to do that? You call on that show, you do that. But I'm smart enough to keep it where I got them. And I'm about to debate some side topic. So I'm purposely saying Native American because they know what I mean. Okay. So I'm saying Native American, but I'm also saying those who were here before slave ships. So I'm using different terminology. And then I said those who were thrown into slavery with us. Okay. And I mean, I should be very clear who I'm talking to at that point. So I'm using language on purpose to get my point across. Who the hell was here before the slave ships that was thrown into slavery with us? That's common sense. Come on, man. Whether I say black Indians, indigenous people, red man, somebody was thrown into slavery with us that was here before slave ships. And that's true history. I'm talking about those people. All right.
Listen. This should be an easy win, then, right?
Let me ask you, because I'm confused on where you stand. Let me ask you this simple question.
He won't say it.
Now, before I ask,
all right, here we go, family. So now it's three of them on the panel. Oh, he won't say it. Say what? See, you want me to say? See, he just said it. He won't say it. They want me to say something, family, so they can change the whole discussion to something else that I did not come there to debate. You guys can call in the show yourself and debate that. I didn't call in to debate anything really, but I see where they want to go, and I'm accepting their challenge. All right, and I won this easily. So now he's going to ask me the black question. And I'm like, oh boy, he's going to ask me, am I a black man? I'm going to say yes. And then he's going to tie me to other people outside of America who are of African descent. And he's going to erroneously call them black. And he's going to say we're all black together. And then I got to say, no, we're not all black together. We're the only black people. I already see where this is going.
Because I want you to call. I want you to bring this to debate.
Ron, I'm trying to have some order. I'm very fair. Just relax. Listen. Let me first. Do you consider? Do you agree with the term calling each other black? I just want to know that before I ask this question.
No, and that's why I want Chief.
No.
Now he said, you see that? He said, do you agree with us calling each other blacks? That means all melanated people, all African descent people of the world. I said no, I don't subscribe to that. And now but I'm trying to go in further. No. I know, bro. Now you think, because I know what he's thinking now. He's thinking that I'm one of those people who don't think I'm black. So I answer his question. I don't believe we should all call each other black. All melanated people across the world. I don't believe that. I believe we should call the right people black. The Foundation of Black Americans, ADOS, descendants of freedmen. But he won't let me elaborate because he thinks he got me.
No. Just we're not going nowhere else right now. Just let me get my question off. I'm just
answered.
Okay, so you don't like being called black, right?
No, not me.
Wait a minute.
Hey, family. You see how he just switched that? Hold on. Did y'all catch that? You see how he just switched it on me? So he said, do you agree with us calling each other black? I said no, because who's the us? Who's the us? He didn't specify, so he's leaving it to my imagination. And I believe the us is all melanated people across the globe. No. And then he took that to, I don't want to be called black. That's what we call him, Chief X and them. Try to explain.
Ron. No. X. Before I ask,
because I want you to call. I want you to bring this to debate.
Ron, I'm trying to have some order. I'm very fair.
No, he's not.
Just relax. Listen. Let me first. Do you consider? Do you agree with the term calling each other black? I just want to know that before I ask this question.
No, and that's why I want Chief.
No. Just we're not going nowhere else right now. Just let me get my question off. I'm just.
I just answered.
Okay, so you don't like being called black, right?
No, not me.
Wait a minute.
You see that? This dude is slow. Dude, you're slow. How did that come to? I don't want to be called black. And then when I say, no, not me, I don't mind being called black. I was going to say the others outside of my lineage. But he's trying to set me up with a question to ask another question. It's like, dude, it ain't going to work, man. Try to explain.
Ron. You're trying to wiggle and go somewhere. I'm trying to keep.
No, I'm not, bro.
Okay, listen to what I'm saying.
I tried to explain this to Chef one day.
Listen. Forget Chef for a minute.
I don't waver. Right.
Can you just say your answer? He's asking you what your thoughts are.
He keeps cutting in.
I haven't even. Wait, hold on.
All right. So give the question and then let me go for 30 seconds.
Ron.
Got it.
This is my platform. Let me ask you a question. Let me moderate my platform.
You did, and you cut me off.
No, I'm not cutting you off. I'm trying to ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead. Let me know when you're done.
Okay, listen. I just wanted to ask you how you feel about black before I ask you the real question, so we can be aligned in our understanding.
I told you, family, a set of question for the real question, and the set of question ain't working. The dig, that's not working, because I don't believe everybody's black that's melanated. I told you he was asking me a set of question for the real question. Now he got me. That's not gonna work, my guy. You're too dumb. You're too dumb.
So I can understand each other. Okay. Are you okay?
Good.
Just yes or no? Are you okay?
No.
Hold on.
I'm not doing yes or no.
Okay. Listen. Are you okay with being called a black man?
Yes.
Okay. Now.
What? Let him finish. Let Chief ask the real question now.
He didn't spit me around the block so much I forgot the real question I wanted to ask him.
Now, the giggly cheddars back there, he said I spent him around the block, and I'm trying to explain, like, dude, you asked me, do I agree with each other calling themselves black? I say no. Then you make that believe to say I'm not calling myself black. I say no. I am black. So now he thinks this guy is stupid.
Okay. So okay, here you go. This is what I wanted to ask you. Okay. So were black folk
Hold on, brother.
in the soil in the Western Hemisphere, in what we call the United States of America, Brazil?
You see, family, he just said black folks, and he just tied in Brazilians. I knew that's what he was asking when he asked me earlier. When he asked me earlier, do you like when we call each other black? And I said no. He took that to mean I don't call myself black. He answered the question. He understood I like to call myself black. And then he asked another question, do I consider Brazilians black, basically? And I'm saying no. So he's confused because he never let me finish the answer.
South America or Mexico, were there black folk in these lands on this soil prior to 1492?
Now that's what I'm trying to save you, my guy.
Living and having a culture and had been here forever. Were there black folk here then?
Are you done? Okay, so now I was trying to save you all of that by defining how I take on black, and you cut me in. You said, do I identify as a black man? Yes.
This is why
Chief, you gotta go on mute and let me go, man.
You didn't make
you let the other brother go. I'm attempting to answer it. He can understand it. He keep cutting in.
Just let him answer it the way you want to, Chief.
The dude, he trying to bottle me.
So family, this was the entire context, okay? So as you can see, I got little to no information in.
It's some goofy shit. He's gonna get cooked.
I'm gonna let you answer how you want to answer, but I just want to know. That's why I preface before I ask the question: are you okay with being considered a black man? And are you
right,
okay
me personally, yes. Them no.
Right, hold
on. God damn.
This is why NFB.
So I just said me, yes, them no, and he don't want me to elaborate on that. He just spoke right over that. Family, this is called agendas. He had a setup question for the real question, his words, and it didn't work. I'm one of those ones. He's finding out he's losing his mind. He got to take his high blood pressure pills now. His heart pills.
FBA, which means foundational black. Americans.
What
Okay.
what do we mean
So,
by black?
so
Now
stop.
you're
So,
gonna die tonight. When we say black, what does that mean?
hold on, man.
Yeah,
Calm
exactly,
down.
bro. That's why you should listen to the answer. You
Ron,
can't bottom me up, bro.
Ron, hold on.
You're not my
This is the,
level.
this is the thing. You're so paranoid and think someone's trying to bottle
Who's
you up.
paranoid?
Listen,
You won't let me get more than
go
15,
ahead, Ron. Go ahead,
10
bro.
words
Go,
in.
go, go,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I was trying to save you to confusion, my guy. Do you know what an exonym is, by the way? Chief? What's an exonym?
Go.
Exactly.
If you
Exactly.
ask
You know
me a
my level.
You should know what an exonym is, being that his name is Chief Exonym.
Oh my guy.
I'm about to go on a
Right.
soliloquy.
But I'm going
Okay,
to answer.
so
I know
just go.
he still talk. He says going. Okay. I know the mistake you're gonna make. You asked me personally, do I consider myself a black man? I say yeah.
Ron, you're muted. Nobody can hear you. Okay?
Let
Stop
he was about
fucking
to
around
answer,
with me,
Chief
man.
X. He was about to
He was about to answer Chief X. He was about to answer Chief Exonym. He was about to answer. And the Arabian tether is back there laughing. Wait till I find that audio. And I'm gonna find it. I got audio of Unc, the Arabian tether called in my show. And at this time, him and Unc was beefing. Man, Unc called him after him and cussed this out the worst way a man could be cussed out. And this clown, this effeminate, still rocks with Unc until this day. Listen, that video is on Unbiased Ron. I got you guys. This tether, the way Unc disrespected him, like, listen, that has to be in blood. The get back got to be in blood. And this guy joined Unc's panel again, and they're cool today. I mean, he took his manhood.
No. First of all, let me get some motherfucking order on my show. I don't do this shit.
Now, family, what did I say to trigger this type of response from this unhinged, emotional guy? Now, this is a way to never let your channel grow. So these guys wonder why they're online for 1,000 years and can't get more than 10 live viewers. This is how you kill your channel. This is 101. This is how you kill your channel. Fake outrages, victim, playing Karen, Chief Karen. I'm gonna call him Chief Karen. That's a better name. So we got Chief Karen, who is going crazy. Now he's gonna blame me for something I'm barely able. They barely let me talk, but he's gonna blame me for this charade.
Do all this over talking and go. I don't do that. We've been having a great conversation like adults. We have. It didn't get out of control until Ron got to being tricky and playing games. I'm 56.
Family. He said tricky because I said I'm Black American, but those Brazilians, they're not Black. And as I went to explain exonym to Chief Karen, he cut me off. But I'm being tricky, but he's trying to pigeonhole me. He's trying to still man my argument, like trying to hold me to a place without hearing my argument, without hearing my definition. You only can hold me to what I say. You can't hold me to what I don't say or hold me to what I said halfway. That doesn't how that works, man. That's called out of context. That's called out of context. Okay. Not with context.
I'm not playing with niggas no more. I don't have the tolerance as a grandpa no more. So let me just stop this right here. I mean, Ron, no harm. I'm not trying to have a gotcha moment.
If you were not trying to have a gotcha moment, you would have let me speak for more than 10 seconds. Okay. You are looking for a gotcha moment. It didn't work and you're upset. I mean, Ray Charles seen the setup. It was horrible, my guy. That's why you're a failed YouTuber. Okay. These disingenuous conversations don't work. It's not built on integrity. The guy in the top right corner, the Arabian tether, you started the show off the 15-minute mark, talking about how much you despise him and his show. Let's get back to that.
After presentation, that means I've done research. in Ghana. I did one right here. Facts about slavery you didn't hear. Right? White man. Facts of the world. Barbary, the Dahomey, and the slavery there. It's a great video. Go look at it. Black people, Moroccan slaves, the real Moors, Aboriginals, right? And right here, 4 years ago, I gave a shout out to Sheffreen of the pseudo killers because he was a pseudo killer at this time on slavery and zinc.
Okay, so Sheffrin is the Arabian tether in the top right corner.
Topic. We went back and forth over the Nzinga topic. Now I'm not fucking with Sheffreen no more because he's kind of disrespectful. I didn't left this Discord a bunch of people was in.
So he's not messing with the Arabian tether because he's disrespectful. What else?
And I'll never be back. People are just totally immature, disrespectful, bullies, cruel, rude. Fuck it. I said, let me take my hat and go and get back in my own lane and have some motherfucking peace, right?
So now you think an Arabian tether will respect that position, right? And let this guy go do him. Nope. The Arabian tether called in. He's a clout chaser looking for what? He's looking for YouTube success. He's looking for a platform we can shine. Dude, you're boring. Your Baltimore accent is more than a Baltimore accent. We can hear, even though Unc says do, even though Tarka Bay says do, even though Dr. Mayat says do, we can hear them. Why you're the only Baltimorean that says do, but we can't hear you. You can't make out any sentences. We can't understand your language. And there's rumor that you're part of that lead paint thing that happened in Baltimore. If y'all don't know, there was a big lead paint case where kids were eating lead paint, and so they were exposed to lead poison, and that type of damage is irreversible. All type of brain issues happen, and somebody said this guy, is allegedly, he was one of those kids that was eating lead paint. So we can't understand him. Watch this. Let's go back to where we were.
Go.
Exactly.
You
Exactly. You're not my level, my guy.
I'm about to go on a
right. But I'm going to answer.
So just go.
He still talks. He says go. Okay. I know the mistake you're gonna make. You asked me personally, do I consider myself a black man? I said, yo, look at the dude, Chief Karen posture and position. I love to look at body. I love to study body language. This dude is upset, emotional, unhinged. This Karen guy is all in his feelings, and he's telling me to relax. Look at his position. Look at his posture. Exactly. You're not my level, my guy.
I'm about to go on a
right. But I'm going to answer.
So just go.
He still talks. He says go. Okay. I know the mistake you're gonna make. You asked me personally, do I consider myself a black man? I said, yeah.
Ron, you're muted. Nobody can.
Family, I couldn't even give nothing. He muted me right away. All right. So family, that's what happens. So I'm just pointing out to you guys, I'm done with joining panels. That's what happens. Okay. That never happens on my show. He says, go, I go, he mutes me. And then the Arabian tether laughs. Okay.
I don't. I'm trying to have a head talk.
I'm screaming and yelling.
Some Native American shit. Let's get that clear.
Me. Dude, okay. I want y'all to hear lead paint talk. I got it. Because I'm boring you, okay?
I was named. Okay. America.
You said that he said something different, brother.
Back to 1450.
He kept he was like,
we're black.
I didn't want to understand. Family, he's still talking. And this is what I'm trying to explain to the guys off here.
Black folk, see, he's trying to wiggle out the question.
You're misapplying the word black, my guy.
I promise you, he's not going to get away from you.
Okay.
All right. Did you hear that, dude? I promise you, he's not going to get away from you. Yeah, my man sound like lead paint is all in his damn extremities and shit. All throughout his abdomen and muscles, his brain, his blood. Like, dude, you might want to get that checked out. Okay, so I just wanted to bring y'all to the total context. Family, did I ever get a chance to speak? No. Okay, I never got a chance to talk, by the way. So in case y'all was like waiting on something from me, I never got a chance to say anything, by the way. I end up just leaving. You dig? Okay. I see my way out the door. I realized this dude ain't gonna let me talk. Okay. I realized he ain't gonna let me talk. But that's what happens when I join panels because they swear they're gonna outsmart me. They swear they have an argument that's irrefutable, indisputable, unbeatable. You dig? They get somebody like me on there, a real thinker, a real researcher, you dig? A real witty guy, and all of that strategy going to trash. You know, Mike Tyson once said, everybody has a plan until what? Until they get punched in the mouth. So they got these plans for FBA, right? And it may work on some, but the shit sure not me. The shit sure not me. Okay. So he was coming into that realization. His little gotcha moments are not going to work. All right, Mike. Take care. All right. Yeah. So he was realizing his little gotcha thing is not going to work. And that's why he crashed out. He thought he had one, and then he realized, you know, he done fucked up, right? So he looks bad on this podcast. It's not gonna work. So he rather crash out and not let me talk. And you know, after a while, I said, I'm out. All right, okay, I can't talk. I'm good. I'm good. I just checked out. Now, now, the way I left, did I call them names? Did I call the tether a bunch of names? I just left. I just left. He said, I don't be crashing out like these weirdos. I just left. But I'm so glad you guys can see how I'm treated when I join these podcasts, man. That's why I say I'm good. I'm good. I'm passing. And that shows you the irrefutable argument we have on gatekeeping black. Okay. He said my uncle got lead paint on purpose working for GM and still getting disability too. God damn, he did it on purpose? Yeah, so you see that? Like he was trying to frame, yeah, what good is that? What good is misrepresenting my argument, framing it something it's not, just to get a straw man win? Like, is that honorable to misrepresent somebody's argument, develop a rebuttal against it, beat the straw man with your rebuttal, and then pretend like it's my argument, and then try to go viral? Yeah, I was talking to Ross son, and he was telling me how he's on Clubhouse with FBAs, and he does this, all these different social media platforms. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, all right, well, what does that mean? Oh, I be cooking them. I'm like, bro, but you getting cooked by me in real life. And I said, man, who are those FBA people? I said, are they big names in the spaces? Oh yeah, they're big names. So now, family, you know, we know all the big names. So I'm like, all right, give me some give me some names. I ain't gonna tell you. The dude said he ain't gonna tell me the big names in our spaces. We know the big names in our spaces. I ain't gonna tell you. Okay, sure. No damn big. You ain't got no damn big name. You ain't beat nobody with no big name. You dig? Oh, they got a bigger name than you. I said, bro, stop. Stop. You get manhandled by me. You damn sure ain't. talk to Marcel or Jason Black or Dennis Sperling, Tariq. Hey, stop, dude. Afro Elite, stop it. Stop. Dan. Will you stop? Who you think you talking to, my guy? Professor Black Chew. What? Stop it. Red Supreme. You even Adonis and these guys. Stop it. There's another guy, dark skinned dude, out there putting in hella work. Like, bruh, stop. You're not in our spaces doing absolutely nothing. And matter of fact, you're getting cooked in real time right now. That night I had 2 hours of sleep. But the reason why I did it like that, because all these Pan-Africans kept hyping this guy up. Like he flipped a T. Hyping this guy up like he got aspirations. You feel me? Like he's some big dog, some scholar. They kept hyping this guy up. So that's why I said, oh yeah, I'm gonna definitely make an example out of you. You dig? So I had 2 hours of sleep at work, man. And I went to work happy as hell with 2 hours. Cause what I just did, I'm like, yeah, I took down their giant, their little fake illiterate scholar. That dude been in my inboxes begging, yo, one live, I'm gonna show the inbox exchange with this guy. I'm gonna show. At some point, I just started trolling him because he wouldn't stop inboxing me. So I said, let me just troll this guy. Because at first I was ignoring him. You'll see he's writing me like 30,000 pages. They love writing books. These Pan-Africans. So he wrote me like 30 books, 30 pages worth of a text. So I was given one sentence answers or replies to get him to write another 30. Yeah, I was like having fun. I said, watch this. I'm gonna say this, and he's gonna write 30 more pages worth of inboxes. So I'm just over there having fun laughing. And then he get done, I just say like 7 words. He come back with 30 more pages. I'm like, this guy, shout out. I said, that guy, shout out. But again, I'm gonna close out soon. I have the link pinned. The link is for those who are confused or pretend to be confused when I say we're the only Black people. The link are for those who think I'm wrong, that Africans, Caribbeans, Sudanese people, Brazilians are Black. Okay. The link is for those who might have some pushback, who thinks I'm somewhat right, but somewhat wrong. Okay. The link is for those people too. Okay. I will give you guys about 10, 15 minutes of my time beating on you, and then I'm going to deport you off the damn panel. But tell me that dude, Chief Karen. Tell me Chief Karen wasn't an emotional wreck. That dude face posture. That dude was angry as he was angry as hell, man. Like, yeah, you thought you were good, huh? And then I didn't play the part where he said he wanted to debate me. Tell me, y'all didn't hear that part. When I first called in, he's like, hey, what's going on? He was like, yeah, man. He's like, yeah, I want to debate you on your in front of your audience. I was like, really? I said, okay. I was happy. I'd be begging for a challenger. I'm like, okay, because most people know better. Shit, some people think I got the best arguments for the lineage. So like people really sidestep this channel because I'll be looking for the smoke. So when he said that, man, I lit up like, okay, I'm trying to be my best manners now to get him over here. But I already know what he's going to do. First of all, family, he had no idea what an ethnogenesis is. I had to explain to him what an ethnogenesis is, okay? Then the dude didn't even know what delineation meant. He didn't know what delineation meant. I had to explain to him what a delineation is. So this is a guy who wants to debate an FBA, and he does not know what an ethnogenesis is, and he has no idea what a delineation is. Oh my God, bro. It's too easy. Are you serious, man? So you don't know none of our talking points? And family, when these idiots don't know what a delineation is or ethnogenesis, it's because their entire argument is about crying and whining about Tariq Nasheed. That's all. When they don't know simple stuff we talk about, simple talking points, that means all he's gonna do is Tariq this, Tariq that, Tariq this, and the whole that's his debate. Like my guy, I thought we were debating like FBA stance and delineation and ethnogenesis and blah blah blah. So that was for me that I was like that was him wanting to argue and whine about Tariq Nasheed. You dig? And I was like, but after what you just witnessed just now, he said, yeah, I don't want to debate you. I'm not coming to your your platform. I was like, I can see why not. Look how dumb you are. You asked me, do I accept us calling each other black? And I knew that each other was global melanated people. I said no. He came back, well, okay, so you don't like to call yourself black. I'm like, what are you talking about, bro? I'm FBA, you fool. Like, how do you come to that conclusion and I'm FBA? The B stand for black, not bussy. Yo, he wanted the B to stand for bussy. That is weird ass one. He wanted the B to stand for bussy. Like, no, I'm black, man. Oh, okay. So you're black, right? Okay, so here's the real question. So all the black people in the world, like, dude, what the hell? How do I call myself Black American, and you automatically think I believe that there's black people globally? No, there's Africans globally, there's Caribbeans globally, and South Americans and Central Americans globally, my guy. Black people are concentrated in the United States of America only. That's it. We're black and we're proud and we're beautiful and we got black power. You guys got fleeing power. Okay? We got black power, you guys got fleeing power. We got black Wall Street, you got fleeing Wall Street. We got black reconstruction. you got you got you got fleeing Wall Street. We got the Black Panthers, you got the fleeing gazelles. You got the fleeing gazelles, man. Okay? You got the fleeing gorillas. No, the fleeing orangutans. That's what you guys got. Damn. We got black love. You guys got fleeing desperation. We're black. You're a fleer. Fleeing power versus black power. That might be the new title for tomorrow. Which one is more serious? Or which is real empowerment? Fleeing power or black power? When Kwame Ture brought his ass to Ghana, did he bring with him black power? Huh? Did he go over there trying to tell those guys they're black? And he's going to help them be empowered. They looked at him like he's a fool. Said, man, black power. They talk about back to back. But that bullshit.
I mean, black women. All right. I got to backtrack. I dropped my phone somewhere. Running my mouth. I check my pocket. Like, where'd my phone go? Oh boy. Somebody.
Next, this over here somewhere. All right, she found the phone. It's in the middle of the fucking road. Lucky so far. I don't know what damage. I know it got ran over. I know it's smothered in snow. Oh shit. All right, so I don't know. I can't see the damage. Just the screen is black. Everything's black. It's saying it won't let me like. It's saying accidental. I gotta swipe up, but I can't swipe up because the thing is filled with snow and water. God, God, fucking God. At least I found the damn thing. I mean, I got lucky. Like the headset, it connected right there. Like the headset connection was spot on. When it connected, something said stop and look around that vicinity, and I found it right away. It was face down, covered in snow a little bit, so it's kind of hard to see. But the reason why I knew that was it, or could be it, is that was the only little black space that had no snow in it. But you couldn't make out it was a phone at all. I just knew it stood out as the only space with no snow. They got ran over a couple times, so hopefully they dig the water and snow and kill it. Hopefully, the case had survived those runovers. So hopefully we're good. God. My God. Oh fuck it's me. Now let's check this phone again. They got me stuck on accidental touch. What the fuck is fucking stupid drunk?